Okay, so I will be refuting the claim that Russell Westbrook will win the NBA MVP for 2017. The 3 points that were made to support the claim were that 1, he had an unbelievable season statistically, 2, he single-handedly led his team to the playoffs, and 3, both current and former NBA stars believe he deserves the MVP award. So the first claim that is made is that Russell Westbrook had a record-breaking season. One of the supporting claims for this statement was that Russell Westbrook had the highest PER in the league, and his PER was double the league average. Besides a brief little definition of what PER, the arguer fails to give us what his PER is and what the average is. So just to refresh the definition, PER is a player's efficiency rating, which is the overall rating of a player's per minute statistical production. So since this is constantly being updated by the minute, the chances that Russell Westbrook stays at the top are highly unlikely. In fact, when I checked it this morning, Jarnell Stokes of the Denver Nuggets was in first and Russell Westbrook was in third place. And as far as having double the average, which is 15, when I checked, the first 3 placeholders had double the average, so it wasn't like it was anything special. Anyway, the second supporting claim for his record-breaking season was that he broke the record for the most triple-doubles this year with a staggering 42 triple-doubles and was able to average a triple-double, which hasn't been done in over a century. Now, while this is a very impressive little fact, it doesn't focus on Russell Westbrook's statistics as a whole. It's only one statistic and one of his achievements. I can do the same thing with other contenders up for the award this year and even non-contenders. According to stats on NBA.com, Stephen Curry currently holds the record for most three-pointers made in a game. Devin Booker holds the record for the highest scoring game this season. Rudy Gobert, most rebounds in a game. Draymond Green, most steals in a game. All of these records are impressive, but just because you have a record doesn't mean that this is your surefire way to win the NBA MVP award. The second supporting claim for the argument was that he single-handedly led his team to the playoffs. So he argued that Westbrook led the league by adding nearly 30 wins to his team. So I checked the estimated wins added off of Hollinger's page on ESPN, and that is still accurate. He leads the league with 27.5 estimated wins to his team, and James Harden, a close second, was 24.8. So other than the fact that James Harden is a close second, I really got nothing on that one. The third and final claim in support of Russell Westbrook's winning the NBA MVP award was that former and current NBA superstars believe that he should receive this award. He lists players such as 2-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, point guard for the Trailblazers, Damian Lillard, Hall of Famer Shaquille O'Neal, Allen Iverson, and Reggie Miller, and Hall of Famer and the former record holder for the most triple-doubles in a season, Oscar Robertson. As great as it is to have some of the greats rooting for you and the opinion of other NBA players, the opinion of other NBA players hasn't mattered for a long time. The players voted for the MVP award up until the year of 1981. Since then, the award is decided by a panel of sports writers and broadcasters throughout the United States and Canada. If this were a year before 1981, having the NBA players' names on your side would have been a great way to up your chances of receiving the award, but because they would have been the ones voting, but since this is no longer the case, having these big names on your side does little to nothing in advancing your chances of receiving this award. Quick little conclusion. The first statement on PER and triple-doubles, I was able to prove that Russell Westbrook's standings as first in PER is gone, and the point made on triple-doubles was too singular to support the claim that he had a great season statistically. The second claim on the estimated wins that Russell Westbrook added wins to his league was very well backed, and I couldn't find much to counter it. The third claim that former and current NBA stars believe that Russell Westbrook deserves the award doesn't help support the claim because NBA stars don't affect the outcome of the award.
And you were worried. Yeah, you did a good job on that. I thought you did a very nice job identifying what the problems with the advocates' argument were. The analysis of the PER statistic was very solid. I like the fact that you used today's data as a way of updating this and suggesting that it's not going to be nearly as important as the advocates talking about. I like the comparison that you made with the triple doubles, suggesting that there are a variety of records that are held each year during the season that are certainly important, and that any of those might be used by somebody who is also being championed as the MVP to justify their particular case. I think maybe there's a good answer to this point when if there was a rebuttal to the rebuttal, if we were given a chance to resubstantiate, but I think the challenge that you made here was really solid on that particular point. The one place where I think there's a little bit of weakness is on that second point, which is, talking about the added value there. There are a couple of easy questions to ask. For instance, the first one is, how important is that going to be to the people who are voting for the award? It may not be as important as some other factors are. And also, you add a lot of value to a team if you are starting with a team that's pretty crappy to begin with. And apparently the Thunder were not such a great team when he joined them. And so in essence, his addition may have made a substantial difference. But when you're going from, 20 wins to 50 wins, that's less impressive than it might be if you were adding 20 wins to a team that's already in a 40-win season. That's making the team that much more excellent. I think there's an argument to be made there that the relative impact is maybe not as significant as being presented here. I'd be careful about just conceding the point. I think there are some presses that you could make there, but everything else I thought was outstanding, and I thought on the last point especially, where it's nice to have all those people in your corner rooting for you, but they aren't the ones who make the decision, and there probably might even be some examples of decisions that have been made recently by the sports writers and broadcasters choosing MVPs that went against some of the predictions and beliefs of any of those people. That might have been another way to maybe go at that particular point, although the argument that you had there, I thought, attacked the premise right away. So there's some good reasoning, arguments, and challenges there. Thank you.